What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your favorite mask collector's favorite mask collector, AJ Good, here at the House of Masks, where we unbox and review cool stuff almost every single day, and this video is probably long overdue. Today I am giving you guys an update of the mask room, and I don't really know why I call this the mask room when it's really just the music room, because everything in here is music related. This is my theatrical music area. Obviously every other spot in the House of Masks is full of masks as well, but this is the only room that is dedicated solely to masks. But every single piece in here is a theatrical music item. So yeah, it's been a long time coming, but my buddy Douglas Little was like, hey, I think you're overdue for a mask collection update video. And he is probably correct, but to be honest, I push off these videos a lot because I really just hate filming them. And then a week later, I have 12 new items. I'm always thinking, like, why don't I just wait until after I get this one thing to shoot this style of video? Just wait till you have this life-size build done and then you can shoot an update. But in all reality, that is never really going to stop. I mean, the entire channel is pretty much dedicated to adding things to my collection, so I need to kind of get over that mentality and just suck it up and get these videos out when I think it's necessary. And that starts right now. Today, we are going to be taking a full in-depth look at the music mask room, and I will be showing you guys everything as detailed as I possibly can in this video. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so when you first walk in to the main mask room, right here to the left is where everything starts, and we are going to start with all the Slipknot stuff because I am sure that the majority of the people that are watching this are here for Slipknot. So we've got these glass IKEA shelves with some random stuff thrown up in between them, and mostly what these are for is just for my official merchandise. And I don't really like the way that they're set up. I don't like the way that they look in comparison to the shelves that were built for me, for my masks and stuff. So I'm sure that these are going to be temporary, but I'll go ahead and show you inside. Like I said, just a lot of official stuff. I got my lunch boxes, patches, all my CDs, DVDs, VHS, cassettes, some random old promo stuff like the maggot snacks from back in the day. Got some drumsticks. This is a really cool piece because Jay Weinberg actually gifted me this and he hand painted that. So just little nifty stuff like that. The bottom shelf is basically a lot of Sid the Third official merch. So he's basically got his own shelf down there. But again, I'm not really crazy about the way that this all looks. I just think that it looks too thrown together and not official enough in comparison to the mask collection itself. Here in between both of the shelves, we have my special masks, which should really all be behind glass, but again, I just threw this together. So we've got real mold or same maker or band member affiliated masks. I don't really know what to call all these because they really all have their own story, but 2 vintage West German clowns. We've got a real Grammy clown here, 1 of 6. I was able to talk the guy that made Clown's real Grammy clown into doing a small run of these, so he did 6, and I have 1 of them. We have a real 0.5 clown here, and I got this as a gift from the maker. We have 2 real ghost glows. Both still have the tags. One of them is tagged. This one fell off, obviously, but I still have the original tag. We have an original crash dummy, which has been foam filled, so it won't rot. And then we have the infamous Cuddles mask that was converted by Cuddles himself, and he absolutely butchered it. Cool looking mask, just definitely wasn't what I paid for, but kind of took the internet by storm. Up top, we have a real Sean Crayon death mask, along with 2 very significant Joeys. This is actually a backup Joey mask that was gifted to a merch guy of another band during Ozfest of 2001. It is not officially stage used because we can find no proof of Joey using that mask, but I've had a lot of inside sources confirm that that is a real piece. There's no doubt in my mind that it's a real piece, but it is what it is for now. And then we have the first Slipknot piece that Joey Jordison signed after leaving Slipknot, which is a very special piece that my buddy Paul Vick got for me. He actually went to one of the Scar the Martyr shows, I believe, and took that and got it signed for me. Now, I've always thought that that was cool, because even though Joey wasn't in the band anymore, not only did he sign it, but he signed it with his number. So I think that's neat. More random sticks. We've got a We Are Not Your Kind jumpsuit right here from the music video. Obviously that one wasn't used, but it was one of the limited edition ones that they put out. We've got stuff all up here that is not going to stay that way. It just looks good there for now. but none of that stuff that's up on that top shelf is permanent, I guess. A lot of it needs to be framed. Those drum heads need to be framed. And yeah, everything's just temporary in this corner for right now. And then we start on the masks, because we got 2 of my real Paul Knott PK Tattoo the Earths. Really, really cool. I've got 1 of each size. This is the larger one of the originals. And this is from the second run when he downsized. And I am missing my 3rd one because that is currently being painted by an artist and it looks fantastic. When you guys see that, you're probably going to shit bricks. That brings us to the wall. The wall. Infamous. Big ass wall. Slipknot wall. The main attraction of the mask room, I would say. So, the shelves are pretty, I guess, self-explanatory. Down here on the bottom, we have these platform shelves. I just didn't think that it would be appropriate to have one of the hanging shelves, so I built something. I didn't build it, my friend Doug built it. I couldn't build this. I probably could, I just don't want to. I don't like doing that shit. So we got these platform shelves that kind of sit up off the ground but give a nice seal to the floor, I guess. All of my original unconverted pieces are down here. A lot of Paleface replicas. The Jester is a Paleface. The Dummy is a Paleface. The Ghost Glow is a Paleface. And I think the Slam is a Paleface. But other than that, these are originals. We got original Leather Devils, original Pig, BCD, Youth Helmet, etc. The next shelf up, we start going by member. So we've got Craig from the Clown on, and anything that is misplaced, such as this Jester, is just because I don't have the room right now. So Craig, all the way down to the Split. Next shelf, we have number 4, starting with Josh, and then going to Jim, all the way down to the Split. Next shelf, we have Sid Wilson, starting with his earliest mask, all the way down. I tried to get them in order as best as I could, although there really isn't a known order in which these were worn for the most part. Then we go up another shelf, and we've got Clown, and Clown takes up pretty much that entire shelf. And then the final shelf, which is probably not going to be the final shelf. I think there's going to be one more shelf up there. But that one is all Corey until we get to the oddballs. And I said Split earlier because right here after the Craigs, we've got some special shelves that were made for my busts. So we've got the bust set here, which kind of splits the wall in half because it is directly in the middle. It stops the Jims, starts the Joeys, and then we have a whole different side over here to go through. New members, so we've got Jays, V-Mans, and new guys. And then the next shelf up, we start with number 3s. We've got Cuddles. I have each version of the Cuddles mask, and then we have Chris's, which I am definitely lacking in, but no one seems to make those right, so it's really hard to come across a good liar conversion. Hopefully with the help of Nico and a couple other people, I can start filling that shelf out a little better. And then tons of Joeys. Joeys all the way down, and they actually started restacking on top of themselves, so we've got Joeys starting with the first one that I think he wore, and yes, he did wear the BCD, so that is in there for a reason. But it goes all the way down, and we've actually started to stack on top of them. So I'm sure that the more Volume 3s and All Hope Is Gone's are going to start stacking above those ones. Next up, we still have Sid's. Sid had quite a few masks, and I still don't even have close to a finished Sid collection. Then we have a Break, and then we have some Pauls. Again, I am lacking a lot in Pauls. Not for any reason in particular. A lot of people just don't make good Pauls, so it's hard to come across those. And I will admit that I was more concerned with other members as I was starting to come up and collecting. Same with the Mix. I have an original battered hockey here. That's pretty cool. Probably my favorite piece in the Mick collection. And then everything from that point on is a replica. And then last but not least, at the top shelf again, we have oddballs all the way down until we meet the Corey Taylor masks. And as I mentioned, we're probably going to have to throw another shelf up there soon because we are just running out of room. If I get one more Corey, I will have no more room for Corys or no more room for oddballs. So we're gonna have to do something about that quick. But that is the main Slipknot wall. That is not all of the Slipknot stuff. There is still a random corner that you guys will see at the end of this video because that'll be the last thing that we talk about. But we got a lot of Slipknot shit, man, and I'm starting to get really concerned with that. So I think that getting rid of those IKEA shelves and starting to build sort of a connecting bridge of shelves over to that other corner of the room is going to have to be the project in the near future, because we're definitely running out of room. And I didn't even point out everything on that wall, because we got little random stuff in the corner, like the keg, the clown toy, the Sid skull. Yeah, we just have so much shit. There's so much Slipknot stuff, it would be almost impossible for me to point out everything. And again, this isn't even all of the collection. I have tons of official masks. I have tons of Mailbox Monday masks that just never quite got put into the Slipknot collection, and I always have stuff on the way. That's a big reason why I don't like shooting these videos. These update videos are hard to do when you know that you have 6 or 10 Slipknot items on the way, and you're just gonna do a full collection video, and then the next day you're gonna have another life-size build or whatever. So that's the Slipknot stuff, and that brings us to the Buckethead stuff. Okay, we are at Buckethead land. Definitely a very underappreciated part of my collection, because for some reason, no matter how cool Buckethead is, and how much cool shit he collects and turns into us collecting, people just won't take off with him, and I don't understand that. And every person that I know that likes Buckethead doesn't understand it either, because the guy just likes cool shit and incorporates that into his character. So he, as a collector, has become something to collect. It's a really confusing thing, but basically he just likes cool shit, man. If you like horror, Buckethead has you covered. If you like karate, Buckethead has you covered. If you like Disney, if you like basketball, if you like Michael Jackson, whatever it is, Buckethead's got you covered. So, coming over into Buckethead land, we have yet again just started overflowing. We have things on the floor, a bunch of little oddball masks, a bunch of little oddball props. The dude loves Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so you'll see all sorts of horror, chainsaw, Leatherface, Michael Myers, whatever. And again, it blows my mind that more people aren't into Buckethead as an artist and as an entity, I guess. So we'll start in this corner. I have some real Buckethead art. This was given to me by Josh Domo. He gifted that to me for no reason at all, really. He just told me to go on Buckethead's website and pick out my favorite painting from this certain set of paintings, and then it showed up a couple months later. That brings us to my first life-size Buckethead build. This was based directly off of Buckethead the first time that I ever saw him live. We have a real, original 90s KFC bucket on there. Definitely one of my grail items. We have the same exact jersey that he was wearing. And we've got a converted Herbie that I did on a really cheap Chinese knockoff version of the Distortions Unlimited Fresh Death. I think that the whole thing turned out really well, and I'm very, very glad that I did this, because that led to me doing a lot of other life-size builds. Then we've got these shelves, again, hung up by my friend Doug, just filled to the brim with Buckethead oddballs, everything from the Herbies that he used to some of the masks that he would wear backstage, on stage sometimes, whatever. We've got sealed CDs. We've got toys that I was given at Buckethead concerts from Buckethead. Those are special, obviously. This other shelf is filled with official release CDs, pikes, DVDs, original artwork. Again, this was the first original Buckethead painting that I ever owned. Look, this guy fell over. You're making me look bad, man. Some nunchucks. Yeah, you name it, and Buckethead pretty much has you covered. When you come up to the top, we have some more rare items. We have the Leatherface doll. That Leatherface doll is the reason that Buckethead signed with Guns N' Roses. It was a really rare doll back in the day that Buckethead was after, and after turning down Guns N' Roses to Axl Rose a few times, Axl Rose knew that Buckethead was looking for that, and he fucking found it for him, and then Buckethead said, yeah, I'll join the band, and they literally signed the contract for Buckethead to join Guns N' Roses on the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland. Fucking crazy, super weird. So, yeah, all these buckets, a lot of these are originals, some of them are replicas. Any of the rare are originals, such as this KFC bucket, this 90s bucket, and every bucket from that point over. But then I had to do some of my own, like the censored bucket, I guess you'd call it, and the Disneyland bucket. Then we've got a break, which takes you into the little studio area. We come over here, and Buckethead Land continues. we have more KFC buckets. I think all of these are original. Every single one of these is an original bucket, so none of those are replicas. And again, more shelves, lots of oddballs. We've got the Slasher shelf right here, so Buckethead would have worn any of these and all of these when he was performing or backstage or taking photos of fans or signing autographs, and that continues to spill down here. I'm not going to list every single oddball that's on these shelves, but you can bet that Buckethead either used one of these in a music video or for an interview or backstage or on stage or whatever. They are all affiliated with Buckethead. We've got another life-size build. This is based off of the second time that I saw Buckethead, which was a crazy experience because I tracked one of these masks down, knowing that Buckethead didn't have it, gave it to him. He was stoked, and he ended up using it on stage with his Herbie. And not only that, but I made Buckethead a bucket, which he also used on stage that night. It was a very, very cool experience. Again, on the floor, we've just spilled over. We've got some of my Buckethead related magazines, more DVDs, random little props and stuff that he's used throughout the years, and that will bring us to one of the cooler, more unique items. This isn't necessarily something Buckethead related until I made it Buckethead related. I just had this idea to do a claw machine that was full of little Buckethead goodies to kind of match the Buckethead land kind of feel that I was going for, something like a gift shop or a toy store. And that's what I did. I started filling it with different Buckethead props, pieces that he had used over the course of his career. And I eventually want to get some custom decals made. I actually have the designs done, but I haven't got the decals printed yet, but we're going to throw them up top, and they are going to say Slaw Machine, because I think that that's an interesting concept, you know? Buckethead, Slaw, Deli Creeps, Claw Machine, Slaw Machine. So that is it for Buckethead Land. Again, a very underutilized, underappreciated artist, and it really kind of blows my mind that people that are watching my channel because of Slipknot, or because of Gwar, or because of music in general, or horror, or whatever, just don't seem to care about Buckethead. It's pretty disheartening because he's fucking rad, and he'll just send you down a wormhole of cool stuff that you never really thought about before. So that brings us to the right side of the mask room. Okay, so we are officially on the true right side of the mask room. This is, once again, a pretty janky setup and a pretty temporary setup for the time being. This is my portal section, which is probably not going to be here much longer because Gwar is overrunning it, and it's Portal. Who the fuck cares? So I'll take you straight to the Gwar stuff, starting right here with Sid and Princess Diana and a couple odorous pieces by my buddy Lonnie over in the UK. Absolutely love these. We got these hung up and they just look fucking good. Man, what cool pieces. I would love to continue adding some odorouses to this piece. I gotta talk somebody into doing an early 90s odorous for me. You know who you are, Gavin. But yeah, these shelves down here are underutilized. I recently stated that I was gonna start filling these up, but for right now we've got the screen and stage used Scrotamoon arm, a random Gwar shirt from the last time I saw Gwar, and that's pretty much it for a while. Everything up top looks gorgeous. We've got my real stage used Tony Abbott head from Soundwave Australia 2014. Real Slave Pit War Party Jaws. We got some Gwar skateboards that were graciously given to me by Creature, so shout out to Creature. We've got some other random stuff. These are Pit official odorous gauntlets. However, the mask and the hands are not real. We have a studio used Jizmac snare head there for the Blood of God's record that I need to get framed. We have a real, but not stage used, Sexecutioner made by Chuck Varga. We have the Impersonator stage used Sexecutioner, which actually wasn't worn by the Sexecutioner, it was worn by Hunter when Techno Destructo was pretending to be the Sexecutioner to kill Gwar. And then, one of the crown jewels, god damn man, one of the earliest original Sexecutioner masks. I was able to purchase this extremely cheap, but in terrible, terrible condition, way worse condition than what it's in right now. I was able to doctor it up a bit and get it back to as good as it's ever going to get. But this is definitely one of the crown jewels of my collection. Then these shelves start filling out underneath. We've got the Scumdogs 30th anniversary box set here. We've got the Let There Be Guar book. We've got a random Orgasmageddon comic. Some of my DVDs, some of my cassettes, some little random signed stuff. Another little piece here that was given to me by Creature. We've got more stage-used items down here that will accompany what you're about to see. We've got some stage-used Jizmac feet, stage-used Jizmac gauntlets, and then we start basically the Jizmac section. Obviously, we've got some stage-used decap heads like the Nazi skinhead and Mitt Romney, but the main thing that you're looking at here is all of my stage-used Jizmac armor, masks, gauntlets, belts, whatever you want to call it. And just to accompany that, we've got other little Jizmac stuff, some used signed Jizmac heads, Jizmac sticks. We've got a nice little collection of sticks right here from throughout the years. And the Jizmac stuff just continues. I mean, fuck, man. I own this. You know what I mean? Like every time I walk through here, I'm like, damn, I own this thing. And that brings us down to the sleazy corner. Right in front of the sleazy corner is one of my latest acquiries. This is my stage-used Jameson Land bass. It's a Dean Dime Razorback bass, and there's a cool story that comes along with that, but you guys will have to go back a couple videos to see that. And then back here, the sleazy stuff. We've got the stage-used from 2009 until 2019 sleazy hair on a bust. Then we have the original Scum Dogs of the Universe sleazy hair, another one of my favorite items. We've got a Ragnarok used, stage used, sleazy jacket here, along with Sleazy's chains, and I forget exactly when he used these, but it says 95 through present. I think that they were used a little earlier than that, and maybe not as late as the present day, because they just don't match up to a lot of stuff that he was doing during like the barbecues and whatnot. Maybe they are, I don't know, but they look pretty rough now. But these are all Sleazy stage-used chains. Super, super cool. One of the most expensive items I've purchased. Like all this other stuff is a little more rad and it costs way less. Then for some reason I had to get into a bidding war with some fuck. You know I was gonna get these. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? One of the other coolest items that I own is one of my first purchases from Sleazy. This is actually what opened the door to me buying a lot of this other stuff. This is my Sleazy blaster. I actually just popped into a live stream and I said, hey Sleazy, make me a Sleazy blaster. And he was like, why don't I just sell you the real one? And I was like, alright. So then I got it. Yeah, I love my Guar shit. Probably my most favorite part of my collection. I know that a lot of people probably think that it's the Slipknot stuff, but there's just something far more special and intimate about the Guar stuff. I don't have as much of it, but the stuff that I have definitely makes up for just about anything else because I grew up seeing this actual shit on my television and on YouTube and hearing it and seeing it live, and now I just get to walk into this room and look at it whenever I feel like it. So, okay, so moving away from the Guar stuff, up here on this giant AC unit, we've got some random theatrical band stuff that I don't really have a place for. First up, we have my stage-used Cremator hood from the band Ghoul. Super, super rad band. I don't know how or why I was able to talk him into sending me that, but he did, because he's a nice guy. We've got this piece from Teratoma, one of my buddy's bands. Just a little skull guy, little Grim Reaper guy. Teratoma is very old school Guar, pretty similar to Ghoul. If you guys are into that type of stuff, I would highly recommend checking them out. We've got some West Borland masks here. These were made by Ron Sambile. They're just cool to have. I really, really dig that because who doesn't like West Borland? And then last but not least up here, we have a Ghoul worn by multiple Ghouls and fully signed Nameless Ghoul mask. It was made by Jordan Patton. I actually took it to a concert and I got them all to sign it, and a lot of them were so stoked on it that they were just like wearing it around. And it took a lot for me to not take pictures of that, but it was a cool time. And then we've got just a fucking mess. This is the really, really unfinished side of the room because where do I put these things? You know what I mean? So we've got these guys, we've got masks that don't really fit in anywhere else, mostly Slipknot. I got a Jabberwockies mask back here. There's just like a lot of cool shit that I can't find a place for, or things that are sort of projects that are just waiting to go somewhere. So we've got this full We Are Not Your Kind Sid outfit along with the mask. This gym mask, which I'm going to be reworking a little bit into an earlier Dynamo style mask. This guy, which will eventually go on a life-size build of 0.5J. This, which I need to ship out, unfinished self-titled dummy that was given to me by Sam Wilson at Stay Ion, and then another life-size Corey bust, along with this Papa, which yes, I don't fucking like Ghost anymore, but this thing's really special to me, so I just can't quite get rid of it. I don't really know what to do with it, but it is what it is. And then we've got the wall of suits, along with little baby Joey here, and that's it. This is a really unfinished area that we kind of threw together to get ready for the open house, and eventually something will happen, but this place is always a work in progress. I don't know what to tell you. Every day something new happens. Either something shows up, something changes. And I haven't even begun to start thinking about finished product shelves, like putting lights up behind stuff, or I don't know. It's overwhelming. I have a fucking warehouse full of masks, okay? And it's a lot, all right? So yeah. But that is your mask room update, and that is all I'm gonna give you for now, because I'm sure in a month everything will be completely different. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks to my dad for filming. And if there's anything you guys want to see in particular, let me know, because again, there's just a lot of shit in here. There's just a lot. I miss stuff, I skip stuff on accident. It's whatever. There's just so much, like even me being here all the time, every single day, there's more than I can remember. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, this has been AJ Good at the House of Masks, telling you to say no to drugs and alcohol, and yes to collecting. We'll see you guys in the next one.